Hello lovelies, and welcome to another edition of Hold My Latte 2022 hashtag whip chat. Today we're going to be looking at tarot for writers and going through the character building process in chapter 4. As you can see, this is a pre-recorded video because I'm on vacation and I have my coffee mug. Oh, sweet nectar of life. So yes, it is going to be a very busy month in June. That is why I'm pre-recording this video for you. My goddaughter has moved back home. She has finished with college. And so I have my closet back. And look, I will be turning it into... There's Lola on her little bed. I will be turning it into my recording booth when I get home from visiting my middle in South Carolina. I am very much looking forward to everything that is coming up in July, but right now, let's get started on Tarot for Writers, Chapter 4. Okay, for the first part of this video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to be looking at the Tarot for Writers. Chapter 4 is Character Creation. It is the first chapter in the part 2 of Tarot for Writers. The first part of the book is basically introducing you to tarot, different spreads, what different cards mean, how to read the cards. It gives a list of the major arcana cards in here, and then it talks about the minor arcana. She calls them concerns. Tarot for Writers was written by Corrine Kenner, and so we're going to skip ahead to part 2, and we're going to start with chapter 4, Character Creation. And she talks about how writing theory and writing practice, and how tarot cards will allow you to develop deeper personalities for your cast of characters. She gives definitions and lists in it. She talks about the protagonist being the hero, the antagonist being the opposite of the hero. She calls the side characters that are the friends and supporting characters of do not snipe at the kitty. The kitty just wants to be your friend. Sorry about that. She calls them foils because she says everyone needs a friend. So she calls the closest side characters to the main character in the antagonist foil. Then she talks about supporting characters and stock characters. And in every chapter, she has sections where she says she has writing practice, where she will have you draw cards and do an exercise. And in her example, she uses the cards that she draws. She drew the Sun for the antagonist. It looks like the Knight of Cups for the antagonist. The protagonist foil, which is supporting character, would be the King of Swords. The antagonist foil is the Two of Swords, which and then the supporting characters, she pulled the Star. So she writes out this. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do Protagonist, the Protag, the Antag, the PF, the AF, and then SCs. Okay. All right. Let's get this. And the deck that I'm choosing today is one that I got. It's called the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. And I really like this deck because it is a very, very, first of all, it is very, very beautiful. And second of all, it has a lot of fantasy elements, butterflies and fairies. And let me see if I can find, that's the Tower card. See if I can find one of the dragon cards. Oh yes, that card is the Wheel of Fortune. Has a little dragon on it. She's got, let's see, ravens. She has a lot of ravens in it. Dragon. Oh, and lions. She has lions in it. Oh, here's one of the dragon cards. Just beautiful cards. Just gorgeous cards. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to shuffle the deck and see what we can pull for our characters. And this is I really like these cards. They have a very good card stock, and they aren't too big to fan shuffle, but I try to be very careful with them because I don't want to bend them. And let's see, once more for good measure. I'm gonna clump shuffle them, and then we're gonna like. Okay, now for the Protagonist card, we have pulled the Queen of Swords. For the Antagonist card, we have pulled the Ten of Swords. For the Protagonist foil, we have the Six of Pentacles. For the Antagonist foil, we have the Two of Pentacles. And then for the side characters, we've pulled the Knight of Wands. So I will hold those up to you for you to see. And I do have the little book that goes with them because these are not traditional like Rider-Waite tarot cards. So they have different meanings. So we need the Queen of Swords. Here we go. Queen of Swords. The Queen is stern but feminine, rules with her head, not her heart. But she is not without compassion. She's wise, fair, honest, and forthright. She's ready for battle, but prefers to keep matters civilized. The clouds of conflict part, illuminating the Queen of Swords as a ray of hope. Okay, so, pen. I need my pen. So we have Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords foil, that means her bestie, is the Six of Pentacles. So let me find that one. And I apologize for my voice today. We're having wildfires, so yeah, I'm a little scratchy. Okay, Six of Pentacles. A card of giving and receiving in the form of material possessions, a loan, or possibly knowledge, advice, and emotional support. It is the card of a mentor and protege, a benefactor and recipient. The woman is harvesting the fruit of her labor and shares this wealth with the hungry birds. So you can see it's a very beautiful card. So the bestie, we have the Six of... And she is someone who shares wealth and gives support. Okay, now we're going to do the antagonist. Now the antagonist that we have is the Ten of Swords, which traditionally is the defeat card. It is the time to recover after having been defeated and or betrayed. And so this offers so many potentials for the antagonist, Ten of Swords, because this person is going to totally feel justified in doing whatever they want to do. So you can see that. Very, very beautiful card. The Ten of Swords depicts the lowest point in the situation, a person's rock bottom. They are defeated. It is necessary for something to end in order to give way to a change and new beginnings. It can also mean the person is feeling like a victim or martyr. The card portrays a woman stricken by 10 swords, face down in the bloody snow. Although the card seems bleak, the clouds in the dark sky are parting to give way to sunlight, indicating hope. So this person is going to be a very, very interesting Antagonist. So they are at rock bottom. The question is, do we make her a victim or not? Or does she just imagine that she's a victim? All right. The next is the Antagonist foil or best friend, and that is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is normally a choice card. It is the card where you're being offered the choice between two opportunities. So let's hold this up. It's a very cute, it's like a wood nymph, and she's like in ballet shoes, and she's holding the card up. Like, it's very, very beautiful. The Two of Pentacles represents keeping things balanced, juggling several things at once, adapting, and the ability to go with the flow. The card depicts having fun, high spirits, and enjoying life while meeting life's challenges. A wood nymph dancing handles her two pentacles with agility and grace, without concern for tripping and letting them fall to the ground. She is capable and conscientious enough to juggle all the issues life brings. So that sounds like a good support character for someone who has lost everything. Now, let's see. The side characters are the Knights of Wands. Now, Wands represents creativity. So let's find out. So we have a guy on a kind of a cantering horse, and he's holding like a staff with a crystal in the end. Knight of Wands is passionate, confident, full of life. He loves to sweep women off their feet with his charm, adventurous. The negative side, the knight can be arrogant, foolish, daring, and insensitive. The knight in this picture appears to be a bit of a show-off with his exuberant energy. The card is a reminder of those who tend to be rash, quick to take action without thinking out their next step. So we have a side character, Knight of Wands. So we have a side character, like kind of roguishly charming. That's a good one. Charming, arrogant, sometimes insensitive, and he doesn't think things through. Doesn't think with a K, things through. Okay, that is our first writing exercise. So we have our character spread set up now. All right, let's go to the next step. All right, we have written all these down for the first writing practice. Then it says personality plus. Obviously, you'll want to make your characters as rounded and dynamic as you can. The process of simply drawing cards from your tarot deck. As you pull a new card, you also pull out your character's two-dimensional world from the cardstock into fictional reality to feel as real as your own. You can turn the cards to determine the character's physical appearance, motivation, hopes, fears, partners, friends, families, work experiences, hobbies, and simply shuffle your deck and start dealing. So then she has another writing practice on developing your character's personality, and she has all kinds of different things. Gender, what does your character act like? How old are they? What do they look like? Hopes, dreams. A lot of them are very, very similar to the 30 questions that every author should ask their character thing that I did. And and all of these questions. And then she has a list of character building suggestions where she goes through all of the physical, mental, emotional things. She goes through their sun sign, their short, long-term goal, weakness, strongnesses, their personal life, spouses, children, former spouses, occupation, things like that. Just, you know, the daily life things. So, then she has a section called Casting Call, where she talks about if you're planning a large-scale work like a novel or a screenplay, you might want to develop a full cast of characters. And she does a comparison between the different major arcanas and the characters of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. And it's very interesting. It is very well done, very interesting, comparing all of the 21 cards of the major arcana to different characters in Romeo and Juliet. Her next section is she talks about typecasting, about creating the archetypes. And an archetype is like a prototype or model. It is the stereotypical, this is this thing, that tend to cross genres, cross everything. And she has a whole list of well-known archetypes. And this list that she has, it goes on for pages. It goes on for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 pages, where she talks about the different archetypes and what they are and how they interact with others. It is a very, very good list. And for writing, and then of course then she has another writing practice where you're pulling out cards to measure the writing practice. And then she also has a section specifically for minor characters to help you choose what are you going to do with your minor characters, what they feel, and how they're going to react. She has them divided into the spiritual, emotional, intellectual, and physical life. So there are 4 phases, I guess you would call them, that overlap into the side characters. What is their world? How are they living? And then she goes into a section that's private lives of public personalities, where she talks about the goals, the motivations, and the internal conflicts of your different characters. And then she has another section of writing exercises. Then she goes to hopes and fears, and she does another writing practice. And then she goes to she has a note about names, for example, developing specific names. And then she talks about dialogues and interviews. And you know that I am a very, very big character interview person. I want to know all the things about all the people. So she goes into having an interview process with her characters using tarot. And she says creating that dialogue with the character helps you relate to them, which I totally agree with that. Choosing a single card to represent your character story. Ask questions. And she does do this thing where she has 22 fill-in-the-blank questions. I am the name of the card. So I am the Queen of Swords. So we would use the main character's name. And then we would answer, and I have a secret, it is. So let's just pull a card off the top. I'm the Queen of Swords. I have a secret. It is the 7 of Swords. So let's pull that out and we will look to see what the main character's secret is. So I'm gonna FB number 1. So the 7 of Swords, where does that leave us? Oh, going the wrong way. Ha. The 7 of Swords. The card represents deception, opposition, and treachery, often resulting in overconfidence or from overconfidence, hasty action, or careless planning. The man hangs tightly onto one sword as he stoops to grab another, while 5 ravens taunt him with the other swords they have stolen. Though you may feel defeated or betrayed, you should cut your losses and move on. So the question, okay, so the QOS, we're just going to initial it, has a secret, and it is the Seven of Swords. So the question is the Seven of Swords is overconfidence, hasty actions, betrayal. Okay, so she is, and those traits led to deception. So the Queen of Swords, our Queen of Swords here, Queenie did something that set everything in motion. So question number 2 is, so that is question card number 1. So question number 2 is, I'm the Queen of Swords. You would never guess by looking at me, but, so I'm going to pull another card, but, oh, Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is the Broken Heart card. It is the Betrayal card. So she feels betrayed by someone. Let's see who she feels betrayed by. The Queen of Swords. Okay, Five of Swords. The Five of Swords represents or maybe she is the betrayer. You would never guess by looking at me, but and we have the Five of Swords, which is the Betrayer card. The Five of Swords represents betrayal, subterfuge, someone who cheats or uses an unfair advantage to win. We must look out for ourselves and try to claim what is right, fully ours, yet hurting others in our own self-interest will lead to a shallow victory. The card depicts a woman who is stabbed in the back as her assailant takes off with 3 swords. He seems pleased with his victory, yet pauses to look back. So that is the Five of Swords card. So that makes a very, very interesting character, because her overconfidence and hasty actions led to a betrayal and a deception, and now this is saying that this is the betrayal and subterfuge card. They looked out for themselves and they betrayed and hurt others. They're happy to win, but has some regret. Oh, so she is just not so far Queenie is just not a nice person. So far Queenie is just not a nice person. Okay, one more question number 3, and then we'll go on to our antagonist. I am the Queen of Swords, and she wonders about, oh no, I'm sorry, my biggest concern, and that's number 3. Biggest concern. All right, let's pull another card. And we have pulled the Sun card. Not a beautiful look at all those sunflowers. Okay, let me pull that. The Sun card is number 19. I gotta find 19. That's Judgment. Sun cards before Judgment. Okay, there we go. There we go. The Sun card. The Sun represents enlightenment, finding truth, deep insight. Everything encourages one to shine brightly. Excuse me, I have to turn the page. Confidence is high. Energy, self-assuredness, personal glory, good health, and bliss are all aspects of the Sun card. A woman holds her son in a field of sunflowers as the sun warms their back. The child fulfills and delights her, reminding her of the wonders and joys of her childhood and all that is most important. So the sun represents basically all the good things in the world. So our character is very concerned with finding enlightenment, truth, with finding enlightenment and truth. And having a fulfilled life. Okay. Wow, our queen character is a little bit on the selfish side. Okay, so we're going to put these cards in order one. And we're going to put them underneath our queen. So the next character that we're going to pull is we're going to pull the Antagonist cards. So that we are back to our Ten of Swords, our defeat card, our lowest point card, and let's pull, let's skip down a few questions, and we're going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 10 is the 10 of S, and they are afraid of, so far I am really disliking my main character. Okay. Interesting. Maybe this one should be number 4. I wonder about justice. The Justice card is, okay, I'm gonna put that right there. Back up to Justice. It's okay. I'm gonna make this number 4. I wonder about. So okay, the Justice card, and back up here. Okay, the Justice card. Fairness, honesty, acting in ethical manners. Justice means weighing all sides before making decisions. It means being accountable and taking responsibility. It shows a sword and scales. She is standing balanced on a loose rock of the river of truth, representing the fine balance it takes to find truth. Even though the events of life may seem unjust, there is a divine order to the universe. So this plays into her betrayal card. So yeah, she's weighing all sides so this is an ethics thing. Ethics. Seeks truth, ethical, weighing all sides before making decisions. Balancing on the rocks in the river of truth. So maybe it's a thing where she knows what the queen did. She knows what Queenie did to get where she is, and now she is and now she's trying to show the truth of what Queenie did and make Queenie see that she's wrong. So she's not really going to be a true antagonist, as in an enemy, but she is going to be an enemy toward her goal because she's going to make this person be accountable. All right, let's go on to another question. The next question, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to the what I'm afraid of question. So the 10 of S, afraid of, and oh, the 4 of Swords. That is a beautiful, beautiful card. I just love that card. So let's go to the 4 of Swords. So what our 10 of Swords character is, our betrayed character is afraid of, is the 4 of Swords. Indicates recuperation, reflection, withdrawal. A woman depicted in the card is resting, recharging both her body and mind so she can be moving. She has done battle and needs time to heal, take a step back from the situation to review the next course of actions. I see her sleeping in the snow, and all I can think about is someone who has been left out in the cold. She's been left out in the cold after having this great struggle. So we will have to see where that one leads. So we have the... So maybe they were best friends. Maybe they were competing for the same thing. And Queenie did whatever she had to do to win. And unfortunately, by doing that, she has destroyed Tenna. All right, let's do one more question. Okay. I don't know. Happiest day or happiest day or worst day. Let's just pull a card. We'll pull a card and we'll see what the happiest day or worst day was. Okay, so that is the Ace of Swords. I love those butterflies. I love all the blue butterflies. Blue butterflies, thorns and roses. And that sword is magnificent. All right. Wow, so many swords in this. So much conflict. Swords are a sign of work. So let's read the card. The Ace of Swords represents using power of intellect in a just and righteous manner. It indicates resolving a situation, being steadfast to achieve victory. The ace represents the new beginning, viewpoint, or inspiration. So we're doing the happiest and worst day. Happiest day of the life versus the worst tragedy. So so I'm thinking that this was like some kind of like scholastic competition. And it's, you know, some kind of school competition. So this was supposed to be the happiest day of her life, and it turned into the worst tragedy. The Ace of Swords, power of intellect. Used in a just and righteous manner. So the rose vines are entangling the swords, and the butterflies are like escaping into the sunlight behind it. Just beautiful. So our antagonist, she has this great, at rock bottom. She wants justice for the betrayal that she was. She needs to find a way to balance doing this. She needs to rest, and she feels like she was left out in the cold. And the Ace of Swords is inspiration and work. So I'm thinking that Queenie here did whatever she had to do to win the contest, because we have multiple betrayal cards, and her motivation for doing that was because she wanted all the good things in life. So I'm thinking that this is a friends to enemies trope. So that's what we have got going on there, is the friends to enemies trope. Because Queenie was willing to do whatever she could, and Tenna knows the truth, and now Tenna has to decide what to do with that. This arrogant, kind of insensitive male. We have, maybe her bestie who is, shares everything with her. Queenie's bestie has tried to talk her out of it, and Tenna, the antagonist, her bestie was like, you got to just let it go. You need to find balance and let it go, because she did this thing. So that's where we are with the character. We've drawn 3 cards each. Move these guys over here so we can show the cards for each of the characters. All right. So I'm going to move these 3. So we have So this is where we are at. I hope you can see all of this. Tenna here, this is the thing she wants most, is to bring out the truth. Queenie here is having to deal with the fact that she has betrayed someone that may have been, she's done something unethical. She's looking back. Here's the character. She's betrayed someone and she's looking back with regret, but she did it because she wants the good life. Tenna here, she wants to find the truth. She feels like she needs to rest and recuperate after the betrayal. She's kind of left out in the cold, and she's trying to justify, she wants the truth to come out, and she's going to use her intellect to do that. So those are the characters that we built using the Tarot for Writers. It says, she has a section on comparing notes and then another writing practice. But all in all, I found this to be a very, very effective method for creating a character using the just pulling random cards from the top of the deck to get some depth into these characters. There's a lot of room for interpretation because it is tarot, and tarot is not finite. There's always wiggle room in tarot for what it means. So we have the side characters and the main characters all set up. If you can get the Tarot for Writers book, I do recommend it. I have, the little bit that I have read so far, I have found it to be a very, very good look at it. The next chapter after creating your characters is a chapter on astrology and tarot, which talks about further using astrology in combined with tarot to further broaden your character development and story development. Like tarot, astrology does not have set finite definitions for things. There is a lot of wiggle rooms. And when she goes through, she talks about different houses of astrology, the first to the 12th house, and how to, what signs. She talks about the rulership of the house, which is what traits rule them. The ruling signs of the house is it an Aries, is it a Capricorn, and the things that are associated with the houses and the planets in association with it. So it's a very good look at astrology combined with tarot. Excuse me. And then right after that, she goes into chapter 6, which is storylines and plots. I have not gotten that far. I will be doing that reading while I am on the road. So we have gotten our outline there, and we have built some pretty interesting characters. Our protagonist, unfortunately, does not seem to be a very nice person. And our antagonist looks more like the victim in this thing, and looks like that she is, whatever Tenna is doing, she is justified. She's going to be justified in being Queenie's enemy. So thank you for enjoying this video with me. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed this look at Tarot for Writers by Corrine Kenner. I will put the link below, and I hope that you have had a lovely June. I believe this video will go up either the later in the month, probably while I am on vacation. And so be blessed. Have a lovely day. I'm going to have to move the camera and show you something. So all of the kittens are now laying on Lola, and Kohaku is laying on the bed, or by the bed, chewing one of his play balls.